guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be ranking my top 5 quarterbacks of this year's draft. So at number 5, you can see on the screen, it's Mac Jones. Believe it or not, I'm being honest right here. I think the problem with Mac Jones is he doesn't have any mobility. I'm not saying he has to be a Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray type runner, but I think someone who's going to try and when there's no one open, instead of just taking a sack, maybe run out of the pocket. I think unless you're a really, really good thrower and really good at reading the defense, then it's okay to be a passer. And you have the weapons as well. And I think everyone thinks Mac Jones is Tom Brady, but I don't think that's going to happen. Even though he comes from a great college and coached by Nick Saban, I think one positive I like about Mac Jones is that I think he can translate his game to the NFL level, but in the NFL level, you got to be able to be a bit mobile because, he's a quarterback who's going to stand and throw the ball. He's not going to try to run, and I think that's where I want to put him at number 5. I think he can throw the ball, he can do all that stuff, but I think teams can just blitz him up, and he'll be dead, and he's just going to take a sack, and I think that's a problem with Mac Jones. Mobility is a huge concern in my perspective. So at number 5, I have Mac Jones. At number 4, it is Trey Lance. And I think a lot of people, if I said Mac Jones at 5, I'd probably be saying Justin Fields at 4. I'm not that big of a Justin Fields fan, but I do like Trey Lance's ability to Trey Lance, he's good at making plays, and he's a skill player. He can throw that ball downfield. He has great legs. But my problem is he came out of such a small school, and whenever you play for such a small school, everyone on your team sucks. And even if you play at an average level, everyone will think that you're super good because you're good on a terrible team. And I think that might be a problem with Trey Lance. I think I like the skill set, just that skills worked in not even a football school, but it didn't work well in North Dakota State, and I didn't even know what North Dakota State was until Trey Lance was, when we were talking about Trey Lance. I don't like that part about him, and I think there are a lot of questions. Can his game translate to I'll just say this. Can his game translate to the NFL level? That's a question, because he plays in such a small school, and his coaches, they just made him look good, I feel, in my perspective. I like Trey Lance's ability to make plays. Problem is, he came from such a small school, and going to such a small school might impact his game because of not having the best coach, 2, because everyone on his team sucks but him. And even let's say he was average, I don't think he can play that well in the NFL level. I think that's a big problem with Trey Lance. I don't want to keep him at number 5 ahead of Mac Jones, but I think I really like his skill set. I think his skill set takes away everything, but I just had to put him over Mac Jones. So at number 4, I have Trey Lance. At number 3, I got Justin Fields. Everyone's putting Justin Fields at number 5, and I don't understand why. Like a month ago, about 2 months ago, we were talking about this guy being the second best quarterback. And somehow, some way, he moved to number 5. I don't even know how. And I like his skill set, I think. Just the problem is, the way that he plays in college, is that game going to translate into the NFL? That's the big question for him. Everything else I like his game. I think he can run the ball extremely well. I think he isn't a bad passer. I like his stats there. And I think Ohio State's a good football college, and he made it to the national championship, and he did beat Trevor Lawrence out. And I think if Justin Fields finds the right system, I think he can be a successful quarterback in the NFL. And I think the problem is that Mac Jones' draft stock is trending up just because he's from Alabama, and I personally don't like Mac Jones. I do like Trey Lance as well, but I put Justin Fields just because he came from a better college, and he I think, relatively kind of played better than Trey Lance. And I think Trey Lance he only played one game this season due to COVID. and he didn't play that well. And I think I understand. Just coming out of COVID, it's very hard to play, and I think Justin Fields, his team made it pretty far, and he just didn't win the national championship, and that's okay. I think a lot of people say Justin Fields is trash. A lot of people are that love Justin Fields. I'm kind of in the middle, and I do like what he can do, but the question is his game going to translate into the NFL? So at number 3, I have Justin Fields. At number 2, I got Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson, I think he's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks. I think he is the favorite quarterback in this draft just because of what he can do. And he has legs that are really good, and he's such a great, accurate quarterback. And I think he can throw the ball like, I almost want to say Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, but I don't want to say it. And then his running ability is very good as well. And I think some people think that Zach Wilson's actually better than Trevor Lawrence. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think Trevor Lawrence is number 1. He'll be coming up. I think everyone expects Trevor Lawrence to go number 1. I don't think Zach Wilson is going to go number 1, but I think he is number 2. I think the one thing that I like about Zach Wilson is that he's a very calm guy, and I think whenever he sees throws, they look perfect. And I think his running ability is so great. I feel like that's one of the most underrated things about him. And I think nowadays you want running quarterbacks that can throw the ball, and I think this is what the generation should look like. And Zach Wilson, I literally love the way he plays. I like him over Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones, just because of his ability to just throw the ball very accurately, and he can do this, he can run the ball. And that's one thing Mac Jones doesn't have. Debatable, Trey Lance can do that as well. Also, Justin Fields can do that. So I think that's what I like about Zach Wilson. I think skill set's really good. But the one question I have is, I think he's going to go to the Jets at number 2. But he played behind such a great offensive line in BYU, and he's not going to have that good of an offensive line with the Jets. He's got Mekhi Becton, but basically no one else. I think that's my only question. I think that's after he gets drafted, depending on which team. But I'm not scared of anything else about him. I don't think anything else is going to impact him. And I think Zach Wilson has a good future if he goes to a good team. And also if they manage him well. So at number 2, I got Zach Wilson. At number 1, I don't think there's a surprise here, and it's Trevor Lawrence. There's really no argument for this. I think no other quarterback. I don't think Zach Wilson. Some people think Zach Wilson's better, but we've been talking about this guy for 3 years, and if you talk about this guy for 3 years and he was a star in college, this guy is probably going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. And I think Trevor Lawrence, he can throw the ball. I think he could be the next. He could also be better than Patrick Mahomes. And so far, what Patrick Mahomes has done is he's won an MVP season, was one offside away from winning the Super Bowl, and then won the Super Bowl, went to another Super Bowl, and lost to Tom Brady. And I think this guy can do it. And look what the Jaguars. I mean, Urban Meyer already said they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. So I think just book it. I think for a Jaguars fan, your quarterback's literally Trevor Lawrence. I just think it hasn't been announced yet. Just think of that. I think Trevor Lawrence I think he's already gotten drafted by the Jaguars. They've already said they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. I don't think there's any question about this unless the Jaguars are really stupid. And I don't think an NFL franchise like the Jaguars, who got a lot of weapons like Marvin Jones, who is a beast, and Laviska Shenault Jr., they drafted him last year, and you got DJ Chark, and they surrounded him with a lot of weapons, and there's really nothing I don't like about this guy. How about I just say that? And I think Trevor Lawrence, he's the best quarterback in this draft, and he's going to go number 1. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. What do you think about my list? Give me more ideas in the comment section below. And if I like your idea, I might make a video and you might get shouted out. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.